Welcome to the Rek't podcast, where we talk about everything to do with VR and a lot of stuff not to do with VR. I am one of your hosts. My name is Indie VR. I have Mr. Mac in VR. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, my good friend. I'm very well. Nice to have you back, mate.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Great to be back. And we have Mr. Power on VR. How you doing, mate?
I am fan bloody dabby dozy tastic. That works.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Excellent. And you reached a very big milestone. Congratulations, sir.
Yes, congratulations, my friend.
I did. I am now 37 years old. And no, I did. I reached 100k. It's probably the biggest achievement that I will ever have in my life. Yeah. Don't know.
How does it feel?
Honestly, like the initial buzz is worn off. Like I was obviously elated and I was like on cloud 9 and jumping around and being a tit. In fact, if you want to watch me exactly do that live, I did a stream for it. Go check it out. But now that it's worn off, it's a little weird. Like essentially all it is, right, is that there's a little 1 next to the other numbers that I had. And that sounds really kind of, I don't know, blasé, I guess. But genuinely, it's kind of like when someone goes, it's your birthday. How does it feel to be a year older? It's like, actually, I'm like 24 hours older than I was a day ago.
Yeah.
Like the difference is so little. I know that it makes a big difference to what I'm doing and my channel and how many people are likely to watch stuff and yada yada yada. But as a general feeling, it doesn't actually feel much different than before. So yeah, it's good though. It's good. I'm happy. I actually had my little code come through, so I've ordered my play button.
Nice.
That is currently being engraved as we speak. And that should hopefully turn up within the next 3 weeks, I think it is, for the UK.
Excellent.
And then it will be on my wall. I'll put it like up here somewhere. Or I might just take it to bed with me, you know.
Make sure is it white clean?
Do you know what? I don't know. I have no idea. That'll be the first thing we'll do, right? We'll smear jam on it.
Well,
just see if it like comes off easily.
Just get Indy to smear some bodily fluids on it for you. I'm sure he can.
Indies is the thickest stuff available, I've heard.
You guys are disgusting. Speaking of thick stuff, what are you
like
drinking,
tapioca
Mac?
pudding.
What are you drinking and what have you been playing?
It's gone downhill already. I've got my usual Pinot, very nice Pinot Grigio. I have not been playing much recently because I was away on holiday last week, but if you can see it in the background there, I have the Pico 4 Ultra, which we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
And I've been playing it using a link cable, using the Pico software, and it's been absolutely amazing. I'm just blown away how good it is. So I've been playing Half-Life Alyx because it is the best iteration of Half-Life Alyx I've ever played. Using the Pico Connect software and the screens. And I've also been playing the graphical update to Race Room. And I got so addicted to it that I actually went out and bought the whole DLC, which is about 100 quid's worth. Because the game came out in 2013. So it was getting a bit dated. And they did a massive graphical update. And it looks amazing. And it's also got 13 years worth of content. So if you buy if you buy like I think it's the ultimate pack, it's like 79% discount on everything, but it still costs £100. So, but he's like, if you're a sim racing fan like me, it's got all the cars, all the tracks. It's just amazing. So what are you drinking, Mr. Shuey? And what have you been playing?
So I am drinking a nice New England IPA, Brewdog Juice Shack, which is quite nice.
Very nice.
What have I been playing? I've been playing, as usual, an extreme amount of I Am Cat, because that works for me. I even, like, the video the other day was literally like, I Am Cat as Assassin's Creed Ninja. And going around, it was... Anyway, yeah, if you're into I Am Cat, go watch it. It's funny. If you're not, then don't watch it because you're going to be very upset for a solid 13 minutes. But the other game I've been playing a decent amount of today and a little bit yesterday is it's just recently come to the Quest, though I think it was already available on the Steam store. Is Hotel Rock and Roll, Hotel R&R, which is another sandboxy game, because sandboxy games are pretty much my bread and butter at the moment. And the idea is that you're a rock star and you're in a hotel, and what do rock stars do in hotels? They trash the place,
Smash things up, yeah.
Yeah, they literally, like, the exact idea is you smash stuff, you get money, you try not to get caught by the manager or the maid or the security guards, and then you spend money on better items to do more damage faster. And then you rinse and repeat in different hotel rooms throughout the world.
That sounds like good fun, actually.
It is actually incredible fun. I'm not sure how much fun I'll have over, like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours or whatever, but the first couple of hours on it, I actually really enjoyed. I've had a blast on it. I'm trying to think of what other games I've... Oh, I actually gotten back into Beat Saber. So I've been using...
Okay.
Yeah, I hadn't played it in ages, and I needed something to, like, jump back into as a bit more of a move around fitnessy type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I jumped back in there and grabbed a few of the newer music packs like Daft Punk and Linkin Park and Mike Shinoda
the Linkin Park pack was just me reliving my I wouldn't say youth because I wasn't young, but
see, I was when that came out, when a lot of like,
oh my god.
Yeah, no, it was really good, man.
So Indy, what are you drinking? What have you been playing?
Invisible Water.
Council Pop.
Invisible Water. What have I been playing? I haven't been playing much. I wasn't doing any streaming or anything for a few months. I didn't do literally anything, I don't think. So I had a break, and what have I streamed? Chernobyl again, which is a kind of time traveling puzzle game set in Chernobyl. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. I haven't finished it, but I did a stream of it. It was good little game. And then Zona Origin, which is kind of like Into the Radius, but like an indie version.
Right.
So yeah, it's got like the indie jank and stuff like that. But the game kind of grew on me as I played it. I was streaming it the other day. I did enjoy that. I haven't played Into the Radius 2 yet. I've had a key for it for ages. I do need to play it. But you were saying about, first of all, the amount of content, and then that little growl that Mac did. I'm sure it's to do with them wiping all of his progress after 800 hours.
Well, what I thought I would do, because I loved Into the Radius, the original. I played it on PC, played it right to the end, made a decision, played it all the way through on the Quest 3, and made the other decision just to see what would happen. So I loved Into the Radius. So when the Into the Radius 2 came out, it was a bit bare bones, but it's still Into the Radius, and it looks incredible, especially if you play it on the PlayStation, where all the blacks and the reds really sort of pop. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll work really hard to get up to the full top security level, unlock all the really good weapons, and then when they update the game, like put in like weapon cleaning and hunger and thirst and open up more of the areas, then I'll be ready for it because I'll be level security 3. And when they updated it, they wiped your progress.
Nice.
Bastard. I had this fantastic AK-74 with like lasers and torches and like red dot sights and fucking... I had like a red dot sight on a canted scope and on a canted wrist rail, and I had the expensive sniper scope, and it was just a beast. It was a beast, and then they just took it away from me. So I'm not going to play that Into the Radius 2 until they release it from early access. I'm not going to play it.
That's exactly where I am as well. Yeah. I haven't played Into Radius 2, and I don't plan on playing it until at least the 1.0 release.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. It is good. It's different to Into the Radius because it's more. It reminds me more of a sort of what do they call that style of game where it's like super hard. Something like it,
like a Souls game,
like Elden Ring, like a Souls game. It's more like a Souls game because it is so hard. The enemies are proper tough. So yeah, it's like more like a sort of like when I was live streaming it, Weeble kept saying to me in the chat, save, save, save. Because you can just die like that, and then you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, I think I'm just going to wait until the 1.0 release.
Can I just as this is a very different thing that I want to point out for Interradius 2, is a channel, a specific channel, and I would say, like, Mac, you met him when we went down to the Pico event.
Yeah.
And I've been speaking to him for a while, which is Time for VR. Time, the number 4, VR. Go have a look at him.
Lovely young man.
Yep, super fun guy, super good, like really good quality content. He recently released a Into the Radius 2 video, and I've watched some Into the Radius 2 videos over the course of the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And I watched his one that he released this week, and it hasn't done like huge numbers, but something about the way that guy puts together videos is just superb. Like, he must spend so much time getting it right and scripting it out, because he does, like, instead of doing like in-game voicing and whatnot, he does like a voiceover afterwards, and it genuinely feels like a 1970s movie.
All right, okay.
While you're watching like what he's doing, and he's talking about like entering into the bunker, and he's proper like storylining it rather than it being just a game. It genuinely feels eerie, the way he speaks, the way he goes through it. So go and watch that video if you're into the Radius and you want some content. He recently released a video this week, and it is genuinely fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have to go and check that out, because I've obviously, after I met him, I went and subscribed to his channel and then watched some of his stuff. And yeah, he's a nice fella. He's very young though, isn't he?
He is a very young guy. I think he's still like sub 30 or something.
I know. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh shit, man, I'm old enough to be your dad. And he fucking in the pub with me pint in me hand, and I said, oh, you're young enough to be my son. And he went, you're old enough to be my granddad. So I immediately knew that I was going to like him.
I had one of the nicest beers I've ever drunk while we were in that pub.
Oh, but you think they got the taps mixed round?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Can't even remember what it was called.
I think it was called Light Bulb or something.
Yeah, it was like a cloudy IPA, wasn't it? It was fucking fantastic.
It was absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, back to I guess that's the other half of this channel is drinking. But even so, back to VR stuff. I just wanted to point that out because he's a good guy.
We can talk about because Indy wasn't on the podcast the last time we spoke about it. We can talk about the Pico Ultra launch event.
We can.
I would like to say something, and if anybody from Pico is watching, I do apologise. We've been working with Pico for quite a while, specifically me and Shuey, but Indy did actually come down to one of their Q&A events where they told me I got my streaming contract, and then 4 hours later told me they were cancelling the streaming contracts.
I mean, it was a 4 glorious hours, though, right?
4 glorious hours where I told my wife, oh my God, we should be able to go on holiday to Malaysia next year because I've nailed this streaming contract. And then I had to ring her back up 4 hours later and say, don't book any holidays.
She'd already bought like 6 bikinis, 3 dresses, a sun hat so big that they could both go under it.
Yeah, that's just a match.
I know.
Yeah,
but yeah, we went down to the launch event. There was like it was actually at TikTok HQ in London. It was quite a swanky event. You know, they'd obviously put some time into it. There was like a presentation for an hour, and then they had like a load of Pico 4 Ultras that you could get games demoed on. They had the tracking. They had the I'll get one of them out. Where is it? They had the Pico trackers, which I've been using with my Pico 4 Ultra. And then they had just a load of Pico 4s just laid about, and you could like help yourself and try it out. I used the color pass through, which, you know, we are going to talk about the Pico Ultra later, or we can talk about it now if you want. I don't mind.
We're on the subject, so you might as well.
Yeah. So they sent out a load of Pico 4 Ultras to some YouTubers to review. Not me. And not you, Shuey.
No, we should point out that there was kind of an offer, like, so that we're being 100% transparent, there was kind of an offer where they would send us one to share. temporarily. Where they were like, oh yeah, if we send it to you, then you can send it to him, and you can send it to him, and yada yada yada.
This was like 10 days before the release, and there's about 10 of us.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But no, so I mean, taking nothing away from Gamertag, because I have met Gamertag and he is a super nice guy, you know, proper genuine YouTuber. Go and subscribe to his channel, make some great content. But they sent him a Pico 4 Ultra and he didn't review it. He put a post on Twitter that said, I'm not going to review it. These are my thoughts.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I was like,
and that's completely understandable, I think, really. If you're sent, it's kind of like an unsolicited dick pic, isn't it? You get randomly sent something, and what are you meant to do? Like go on this huge like tirade about it and be like, oh yes, it's so long and hairy and pink. And that's when they're talking about the Pico 4 Ultra, by the way, not the dick pic. And it's you know, if you're sent it and you don't actually ask for it, then yeah, I don't think you're under any obligation to do anything with it.
Yeah.
An interesting thing is, like, somebody else that got sent one was Tigress. I don't know if you watched her review on it.
I have, yes.
I thought, like, she is the perfect person to have been sent one of those, right? Because it's right up her alley. Like, she spends so long setting up, like, base stations and everything to get it all right and get everything sorted. And then her video is just like, I looked down and it was all working. Yeah. And then she started playing like foot saber type stuff, and she played like the Pico's native thing, and it was great.
Yeah. And the thing, right? So the thing I would like to say about the trackers, I did a live unboxing when I got mine on Friday, and I had some guy who was obviously into VR chat was saying, "Well, nobody's going to use it because you can't do full body tracking with it in VR chat." And I was like, "Yes, you can." He was like, "No, you can't." I was like, "Yes, you can. VR chat is available on the Pico. You put these around your ankles. There's an algorithm that works out where your head is, where your hands are, where your feet are, and then works out where your hips are. Like, generative AI is fucking incredible, and the tracking is unbelievable. I did like, I can't remember the name of the game. It was like that foot saber one. It's like a dance. Yeah. I think it's called Dance Rhythm VR or something like that. And the tracking was absolutely spot on. I mean, my dancing was shit, but the tracking was absolutely spot on.
It tracks your shit dancing perfectly.
It does. It did. It actually didn't even make me look as good as I should have. I just looked shit. And there's another game in there called, I think it's called Box Fit VR or something like that, where you get like a personal trainer and they do a movement and you were supposed to copy them. Absolutely flawless. And to like, so if you've ever had a Vive tracker, an HTC Vive tracker with base stations and an index like I used to have, they were a colossal pain in the ass because you have to go into like these menus in Steam and you have to, you know, and they all look the same and you have to figure out which one's on your left leg, which one's on your right leg, which one's on your hip. With these, the setup process is literally put them on your ankles, stand still, look down, calibrated. Takes 10 seconds, if that. And they work really, really well. And another good thing about them is they come on these little straps, but say, for example, you want to play golf with a proper golf stick, you can just put that on the golf stick and it will track the head of the golf club. Sorry, not stick. Yeah, it's really, really well thought out and a great little bit of kit. And they've also got live integration on the Pico. Steam VR picks them up as trackers. I haven't got into it properly yet because I haven't really had time because I've been on holiday. But these things, 80 quid for full body tracking. You know, one Vive tracker costs that. One Vive tracker costs that.
Not if you buy the elite ones, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So no, Pico have really knocked it out the park with these. They're 80 quid. You can buy them separately, $79.99 in the UK. If you want to do full body tracking, I'm going to start doing my live avatar as well because we met Cone. What's her name? Bloody hell, Scone. We met Scone, who does like avatar based YouTube content. Lovely girl.
She does VTuber rigging.
VTuber, yeah. So she's going to make me an avatar, and I'm going to start using these to do pistol whip content again, because that is actually how my channel started. Was doing pistol whip with avatars. All those years ago, nobody watched it, but you know.
Parasite. That's exactly what. As soon as he took it off of that strap, that's all my brain was thinking.
Meat Saber.
Yeah, it allows you to play Meat Saber.
So when's your VR chat stream going to be, Mac? Doing showing off the full body?
I'm not doing VR chat. Fuck that shit. I said it during.
No. I'm actually going to get into it. I'm actually going to jump in. I've been wanting to for a while. I've dipped my toe a couple of times. I need someone to show me around properly.
I'm not experienced. I've been in it like 3 times.
Yeah, I've done it. I've been in it because I got interviewed by a chap from Brazil, and he wanted me to do it in VR chat, which was fine. So LSB says full body tracking is a gimmick. It is not a gimmick.
No,
it's not a gimmick.
Disagree.
No, I'm sorry, LSB. I love you and everything, but you are wrong.
Digital presence is a big thing of the future. It is at the moment. I agree. It's not where it needs to be, but there is a big difference when you're interacting with somebody that has full body tracking. The
sense of presence.
Yeah, the sense of presence, but also like the small amount of subconscious bodily movements that can really make a difference. I think it's important for where VR is going.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, you can take your eyes in there, you can take your hands in there, you can take your voice in there. Ideally, you need to take the rest of your body.
Do you reckon they'll have? I mean, they will one day, or they might even have them, ones that you strap around your penis. Like
they do.
Yeah,
it already exists.
You interviewed a guy, Indy. You interviewed a guy when you used to do the interviews in Neos. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about having sex in VR, wasn't he?
That was VR.
Because he was always high as a kite on Red Bull, wasn't he? He was like,
yeah.
You know that scene, Curtis. That's him. That scene in oh fucking hell! What's the space version of Simpsons? Fucking hell!
Jetsons.
Futurama, where he drinks 100 cups of coffee. That was like talking to Curtis. He was like 100 miles.
That was the controversial podcast, the one and only episode that we did about sex in VR. Which is still on my YouTube, but it's just unlisted. So if anyone hasn't seen that, let me know. I'll send it to you.
So I'm just reading my chat.
It's well worth it, by the way. Oh, just while we're having a half-second break, I just need to shout out to all of our Spanish listeners out there, and I've got a special message for you. Indy es una teta. There you go. For all of our Spanish listeners.
Okay.
If anyone can translate that, yeah. By all means, shove it in the chat.
I was
Indy es una teta.
I was at the
something about me and a potato.
I was at the Barcelona Grand Prix a few years ago with my wife, and I'd been doing the Rosetta Stone Spanish, and I was quite good. I had, I could converse a little bit in Spanish. So during the Grand Prix, we got a bit hungry, so I went to this burger van, and with my best Spanish, I went, dos hamburguesas, por favor. And the guy went, and I went, sí, because I didn't know what he was talking about. But apparently he asked me if I wanted cheese. So he got cheese on our burgers.
Queso? Queso?
That's my one and only experience of speaking to a Spanish person.
Okay, the reason I was saying about the Spanish is because Captain Pix has just joined us.
He's
Captain Pixis is in disguise. He used to be El Diego VR.
Yeah. El Diego is a very Spanish name, by the way.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
as a segue.
Right.
Indy es una tesa literally is just Indy is a tit. Like, there's a conversation me and Indy had earlier where he was just like, "Oh yeah, you could just speak to Diego. He's Spanish."
I honestly thought he was Spanish, El Diego, and like, I swear he's got long hair, right? And like I saw him on a stream before, and I said he looks very Spanish. And like he said stuff in Spanish before, so I just he was Spanish.
This is like the opposite of doxing. Like you're describing somebody that doesn't really exist.
Right.
But
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Diego, you don't have a name like Diego if you're not Spanish. But
Right.
yes, should we actually message him
Okay.
because he wanted something Spanish related? And he goes, "You better not be lying to me, Serge, because I actually thought he was." Sorry, going back.
Right. To get away from all the frivolity. This is a podcast about virtual reality, not about asking for hamburgers in Spanish at the Barcelona Grand Prix. Right. So the Pico 4 Ultra. I believe I'm the only one who actually owns one out of the three of us.
You are.
Right. Okay. So I did not. I'm not sponsored by Pico. I went out and bought this with my own money. It was £529 in the UK. If you
pre-order, right?
Yeah. If you pre-ordered it, you got Fit VR, Infinite Inside,
Nomad,
Nomad, Blade and Sorcery Nomad, and that foot dancing game. I think it's called Rhythm something VR. Sorry, I should have double checked. So the first thing you need to know about the Pico 4 Ultra is basically it's a Pico 4. It's the same size. I think it weighs 6 grams more, but that could be down to like it has extra sensors. The facial interface is rubbish. It always was. But then the Meta Quest 3 facial interface was rubbish. But it actually taken the AMVR facial interface off my Pico 4 and put it on this. It fits. Unfortunately, the KKCOB VR battery pack adapter, the pad at the back here is slightly different, so that doesn't fit. I've got onto KKCOB VR, and they have assured me that they are making an ultra version of this. The lenses, oh crikey, the lenses are the same. The optical stack is the same as the Pico 4, so you get the pancake lenses, and as you can see, I've got my prescription lenses from VR Rock. They just slotted straight in. So if you have Pico 4 and you have prescription lenses and you upgrade to the Pico 4 Ultra, they'll just clip straight in, which I was really, really happy about. This is the inlet vent, same as the Pico 4. And that is the outlet vent, same as the Pico 4. And this thing gets hot. It gets fucking hot. That blows out like really hot air. And there's also a slight air circulation around your face, which is quite nice. So it's using the XR2 Gen 2 chip that's in the Meta Quest 3. The Meta Quest 3 has 8 gigabytes of internal RAM. This has 12 gigabytes of internal RAM, so it's an increase of 50%. That makes it, the productivity side of it, it can run something like 20 browser windows, and you can link it to your PC, and you can have your PC screens, and you can do productivity. The color pass through is incredible. It's got two 32 megapixel cameras here and here, and then in the middle there's something called an ITOF, which I still haven't found out what it means, and it's basically a depth sensor. So it's like the LiDAR in your Apple phone, so it has proper depth perception. And in one of the games I played, which the name escapes me, it has proper occlusion as well. So if you hold your hand in, it was like a sort of tower defense board game in mixed reality. So if you put your hand here in front of the board, there's your hand. If you then reach behind the board, it occludes your hand because it understands where the board is in your space and understands that your hand has now gone behind it. And I was like, oh, that is, and it's so clever. It's really clever. That also leads on to other things later on, which are really, really clever. Go look for a video about occlusion in mixed reality. It's a potentially mind-blowing idea. So the LCD screens in this are slightly higher resolution. But they also have, I spoke to the engineer at the launch event in Pico, and he told me that the screens are 25% brighter and 25% more colourful. Now, I didn't believe him. And then I played Half-Life Alyx using the link cable. I've got a link cable up above me on a cable management system. There's the USB port. I have this little Kiwi design clip here for my link cable. Fucking brilliant little thing. And I played Half-Life Alyx using the Pico Connect software, which I'd never done with the Pico 4. I always just use Virtual Desktop. So the Pico Connect software gives you the option to play wirelessly. And this is Wi-Fi 7 compatible. But I only have a Wi-Fi 6E router. And with the link cable, using the Pico Connect software via USB, that is the ultimate version of Half-Life Alyx that I've ever played, right? Way better than the PSVR 2. The colours are almost the same, almost, not far off. PSVR 2 has OLED panels. This has LCD panels, but they are so good. So I actually started playing Half-Life Alyx and was completely and utterly blown away, and ended up playing all the way through Half-Life Alyx again, because the quality of the gameplay using the link cable and Pico Connect and those new LCD panels was just, it was the best version of Half-Life Alyx I've ever played. So I initially wasn't going to buy one. I ummed and ahed, and on Thursday I actually did the pre-order, and I'm actually really pleased I bought this now, because this is now going to be my main PC VR headset. It is really, really good. So if you have a Quest 2 or you have an Index or a Rift CV1 and you want a good PC VR replacement, it's £500 and it's top notch. It is really good. Yeah. Sorry,
mate. I was just going to ask you, if someone's got a Quest 3 versus that, so because somebody asked me today,
No.
I said I'd ask you.
No.
What is the actual difference that you can see? What are the main differences between the two?
It's purely and simply down to the color pass through is.
Yeah.
Now, I've never had a chance to try out an Apple Vision Pro. I know that Shuey has. You tried John Hibbons's, didn't you? And you were like, you were literally like, "Fuck me, this is really good."
Yeah.
The color pass through on the Pico 4 is way superior to the Meta Quest. Like, putting the Quest 3 on, and it's good on Quest 3. You know, mixed reality is really good. I played a lot of mixed reality games. I think I did a video on my channel about the best mixed reality games. The Pico 4, so the problem with the Quest 3 is if you put your hand near anything, you get distortion. And if you do this with your hands in mixed reality, you get blurring, and it's a bit weird. With the Pico 4 Ultra, with the depth sensor and those two really high quality cameras, it's just like mind-blowingly good. It is mind-blowingly good, and that is just, it hasn't even had like an update to improve it, which they'll obviously do. So for productivity, that's like a £500 Apple Vision Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do spatial videos because it's got the two cameras and the depth sensor. And I was like, I've never seen a spatial video before. And I was like, yeah, I'll take a spatial video and I'll take a spatial photograph. And we were saying before the podcast started, I couldn't believe how good it was. I could not believe how good it was. So you've had experience of Apple Vision Pro, Shuey. Did you see spatial videos?
I did some spatial videos and I saw some spatial pictures, and it wasn't that part of things wasn't mind blowing, but it was good. It was very good. I was very happy with it.
I took a snapshot of my dog just sat in his bed looking cute as he always does, and you actually feel that you can stick your head into the photograph and have a good look around.
What you're about to say, stick your head in the dog then.
The sense of depth and everything is just incredible. So going back to Indy's question, if you haven't met the Quest 3, no, not worth it. If you have a Pico 4, probably not worth it. But if you have a Quest or a Rift CV1 or an Index or something a bit older, and you want a PC VR headset that just works, I was surprised how good the Pico Connect software is now. And I tried it wirelessly and I tried it with the USB link cable. It's a great little headset, and it's cheap. £500, £529. So it's
what's the space on that one? Is it 128 or is it 512?
It's a 256.
Okay, neither of the above then.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more expensive than the base Quest 3, but £100 cheaper than the top notch Quest 3 with the higher thing. But its memory is in the middle. The controllers, Shuey will like this. They've kept it.
Are they still shotgun or still hand?
They've kept it.
Awesome. Feels like you're putting a clip into a pistol.
So they're heavier because they take 2 AA batteries. They're a little bit heavier than the Quest 3. They're also slightly longer. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Just like
very good for people with bigger hands.
Yeah. And I tried it with my Quest 3 Pro Tube cups, and it's a tight fit, but it would probably work. So if you have a Pro Tube and a Quest 3, then yeah, you probably get away with it. But what I do like about the Pico is that it actually has a menu button, the Pico button, which is here. I'm trying to sort of do this. Yeah, so you got the Pico button, which is here. Oh my God, this is difficult to do. Pico button, which is there. And then you have a secondary menu button here. So the Pico button brings up the Pico menu in game. But the secondary button, if you're playing on Steam, it's completely separate. So you can just tap that and you bring up the Steam menu. It's all very intuitive. If you want to take a photograph, you just tap the extra button once, takes a photograph. Press and hold it, starts a video. Pico Cast works really well. It casts in 16:9 at 30 frames per second. So if you're a content creator, you can cast to your TV. You can cast to a TV. You can cast to your PC to capture content. It's just a really good, really well thought out headset.
Have you done a live stream from Pico native? From this new Pico? Because because Meta's got the audio off sync and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did. I did a full live stream unboxing setup, and then I played Infinite Beyond, and I played a little bit of Blade and Sorcery, and yeah, the casting was all fine. It all worked. Audio,
it was all synced.
Audio was all synced. It was great. Yeah, worked really well.
Okay. How was your Blade and Sorcery run? Never heard of you playing that before.
Fucking Blade and Sorcery.
Well, what happened?
I couldn't get through the fucking tutorial.
What?
Okay.
I couldn't get through the tutorial. There's a bit where you're climbing across a gap.
Yeah.
I fell into the gap. I couldn't get out. And
that sounds like poor workmanship.
I spent 10 minutes trying to get out this fucking hole, and in the end I was just like, I can't. I'm too old. I haven't got enough life left extending in front of me to spend any more time on this shit, and I just turned the twat off.
Does he know that he can skip the tutorial?
Yeah, I know, but I'd never played Blade and Sorcery. Well, I have played Blade and Sorcery, but I wanted to do the tutorial to remind me because I haven't played it a lot. I know it's your go-to when you want to smash things up, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah. I still jump into it every now and again, and I'm going to be jumping into it a little bit more, I think. Trying to do some different bits and bobs. I want to see what I can do with it these days because I haven't really touched it properly in a long while.
Yeah. I think I played it once. Oh God, it was years ago. Not really experienced with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've spent hundreds of hours in Blade and Sorcery.
Does it have any kind of campaign at the moment? Or yeah,
yes.
No.
Yeah.
The official 1.0 update. The full release actually brought with it a full sort of campaigny roguelike-y type mode.
Yeah.
First word, but not the second one.
No, it's mate, it's probably one of the best looking of the genre. And there's lots of things you can do with it. There's lots of different ways of tackling it, whether you want to start from having absolutely nothing, or whether you want to start as a specialist in something. And you use that in order to collect shards, and you use the shards to go to a shop and buy new things. It's actually really, really good. And the boss combat for it against the golems is really well done. I had an absolute blast, and it looks like the final level on it genuinely looks fantastic.
All right,
It looks so good.
I might jump because that campaign wasn't available on the Pico version, but I do.
No, it's not available on it's not available on Nomad yet.
Oh right, okay, it's only available on the PC version. Right, okay.
Yeah, which is why it looks so damn good.
Yeah. No, if it comes out on Nomad, I might give it a go then, because
it will eventually, but I think it's going to be at least another 6 months.
Okay, well,
there's a lot they would have to try and figure out to make work on Nomad well.
I think I do have it on Steam, actually, come to think of it. Right, so Cold Account Tangent said, lol, he had a meltdown, he got stuck in the cave and blew a gasket. That's pretty much what happened.
I'm going through your stream right now, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it where you were going mental. I'll have to find it later.
I wondered why you were quiet. You literally just sat there trying to skip through Mac's like hour-long stream to find his meltdown.
Do you know, I've got so many of his meltdowns on my Twitch channel. They're just not public. I've saved all of them.
Amazing.
I've saved all of them. It was fucking hilarious. I need to go back and look at them and make like a compilation.
Right, so I've got a question from LSB, and he says, yeah, when I can use full body tracking to say use my legs and foot to physically kick a bad guy in a game or something, then I'll be interested in that tech. Okay,
you can already do that.
You can already do that, right? So
you can already do that.
I do a lot of training in Les Mills Body Combat, and they just actually included you can now do kicks, and the Pico trackers in Les Mills Body Combat on Pico 4, you can physically kick. So
I'm pretty sure you can, like the full body tracking side of things, you can do in Blade and Sorcery as well. Like I've seen, what's she called? Oh God, it's really good with the eyes. What's her name? Genghis.
Oh, Genghis.
I've seen her. Yeah. I've seen her content where she literally, like, she's got full body tracking set up, and she's literally jumping around her living room doing like massive air kicks and stuff, and like kicking people in the face.
Yeah. So if I'd have managed to get through the tutorial on Blade and Sorcery, I do believe. Please.
I don't. I think you're wrong on this. Before you say it.
Oh, you don't think that it's supported yet?
I don't think it's supported on there.
Right. Okay.
Because I asked when we were at the Pico event.
Right.
Because that's the reason why I didn't immediately jump on the headset. Because I was just like, I can't wait to kick someone in the bollocks. And she was just like, you can't do that.
All right. Okay. So if anybody's wondering. When he says we met when we were at the when you is our Pico main Pico contact, and she is a little tiny Chinese girl, very, very beautiful, but please don't get on the wrong side of her because she's a tiger.
She is a tiny Hulk.
She is, yeah. She like the day we were down at Pico and we were told that by a separate manager that our Pico streaming contracts have been cancelled. We were actually outside having a cigarette. And Wen was like, I beg your pardon? And she had a very heated conversation in Chinese with the other manager. And then we found out the next day that she'd actually, once we'd left, she'd dragged them upstairs and made them sign a piece of paper that said, if you bring back the streaming contract, you will give it to these people first. Otherwise, I will come down and, have you understood what the word nemesis is? What you get is an horrible cunt. Me. And she's basically Bricktop, little Chinese Bricktop.
Frank Warren, yeah. Do you know when I said on my Discord, I said the Rek't podcast is now live?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Classy Brady said, I swear this notification on YouTube told me that the Rek't podcast was live. I was so confused and almost scared to click on it.
There are no rectums. No rectums for harm.
But the funny thing is she did click on it. Thinking that it was the Rek't podcast.
There you go.
And that says more about Classy than I think anything else ever has.
I still remember that time that we were playing that co-op game that you were working for the devs, and Classy fell off the back of the train, and then she couldn't get back on. And if you've never met Classy Baddie, she has a really sort of unique voice, and she's not very tall either. So she was at the back of this train, and all we could see was Classy's little head bobbing up and down, and her saying, I'm stuck," in her really cute, unique voice. It was just funny as fuck. Oh my god. Hey, Classy, how you doing? There she is.
Okay.
Sorry, Googly, I've just increased everything to max. He was saying my audio was low. So hopefully that's not too much. Okay. On to the next.
On to the next thing.
On to the next thing. Indy, what have you got for us?
Let's have a look. You guys wanted to talk about MetaConnect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, we can do a quick like MetaConnect / 3S
Yeah. Okay.
talk. So yeah, obviously, I am FOMOing super hard right now
Yeah.
because I am not at MetaConnect.
If you're if you're a VR content creator and you're on Twitter, it's just the worst thing ever because all of your friends, these people that you know, are all on the way to. Is it Las Vegas?
No, it's in California.
It's in California, yeah. So like John Hibbins is there, Buck's there, Tigress is on the way, Doc Ock's there. Oh my god.
Reese the King,
Yeah,
and Tribe Grey Wolf. Like everyone is basically there.
All of our friends are there. So, when I got inducted into the MetaQuest Creator Program by Spencer, he said, unfortunately, you won't get invited to MetaConnect this year because the invites have already been sent out and you haven't been brought in time, but you probably will get an invite next year. So, God.
Annoyingly, I think that if I'd have known what I do now, I think I could have bullied my way in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I actually had a conversation with John Hibbins, who's the CEO of Fanatec Games, because I was helping him out with some video editing a couple of weeks back, and he was like, "So you coming to MetaConnect?" And I'm just like, "Mate, it's not likely to happen." He's just like, "But it's the mecca of VR content creators. How the hell are you not going?" And I'm just like, "I really want to go." And he's just like, "Go and book a flight." And I literally went. And it was like, considering this would have been 11 days before those guys were flying out.
Yeah.
And the flights were going to cost me £1,500 in like the worst, nastiest, covered in dirt, like pissed on seats you've ever seen in your life.
Ryanair.
Basically the Ryanair that happened to be big enough to go transatlantic. And I was so close to hitting the buy button.
Yeah.
So close. But not only do I have kids to sort out, the missus to sort out, and all of the house and stuff to sort out, I didn't, even if I had flights, I've got nowhere to stay.
So John Hibbins, who's the CEO of Fanatec, is one of the nicest men I've ever met in my whole life. Very, very generous, funny, proper gamer as well. And they've hired like an Airbnb.
It's a VR content creator house.
Yeah,
It's not a small one.
It's not a small house. There's like 8 of them at least.
It's in the freaking wine country.
Oh, is it in Sonoma Valley?
I have a feeling it is.
Oh,
and
my
it's
God.
like the house is just surrounded by like forest. It's like every have you ever seen the film Grown Ups where they like go out on the lake? It basically looks like that, but without the lake. It's just, yeah, I'm dying of jealousy right now.
Yeah.
Bluebell, thank you very much for the gift for Indy.
Cheers,
He
Bluebell.
definitely needs it to persuade him to actually make some fucking content.
So
I did 2 live streams in 3 months, I'll have you know.
so
they lasted a month and 8 days each.
so
Thank you very much.
can we talk about your situation, Indy, or is it too sensitive at the moment? I'm not talking about your rectum.
Podcast. This is what you came here for, Classy. I think if you're talking about my situation, what we were talking about earlier, then yeah, probably just not for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if there's anybody out there,
delete that from the podcast. We'll move on from that.
we'll move on.
Right. So yeah, MetaConnect. What are we going to see at MetaConnect? We are going to be seeing the all the specs that we definitely don't know about for the 3S.
No, and the price and the battery
and the
size.
price. We're definitely not going to know about that either.
I mean, we don't
until next week.
We don't even know if it's going to have a 3.5mm audio jack or anything
No.
like that, or whether it has a button for the color pass through. We don't know anything about the three.
Some wild guesses there, guys. Wild guesses.
Wild guesses. Okay, it's going to retail for $300.
No, Mac, it's definitely not going to retail for $299. It's I half wonder, right? Not even half. It's like 0.0001% whether this is a giant troll, right? The 3S is a years-long troll where they have released everything, they've leaked everything, and actually they're just going to come out with something. They're going to have like a 3S, right? And they're going to come out and they'll be like, this is the 3S. And like a Kinder Egg, they're just going to split it open and pull it apart, and this magical new headset is going to appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a 3S, but it also does dirty things to you in your sleep. Like,
going back to the Virtually Rectum podcast, confirmed the 3S has an anal probe. Mark Zuckerberg will be able to look at your bowels.
Oh, that's something we need to talk about as well, actually.
What, my bowels?
The Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg sort of feud that's still going on. But we'll get to that.
What? Come on. I want to see a fight.
I want to see a fight, but have you seen, like, Musk is now, like, doing pictures of Zuckerberg?
Oh, is he?
And he's gone so insane that he's, like, actually making, like, bad pictures of Zuckerberg and posting them to X. Like, how much of an insecure little bitch do you have to be that you're like, oh, I'm a billionaire and this other billionaire doesn't like me very much. I need to make pictures of him that he has giant eyebrows now. Isn't that so funny?
What do you do? Yeah, I mean, when he's got that stupid amount of money, he's probably sitting in his office thinking, oh, fucking bored out of his nut, thinking, oh, what can I do now?
All right, I've bought the latest. I bought the latest Ferrari. I've shagged the latest supermodel. I think I'll just make AI pictures of Mark Zuckerberg with huge eyebrows using the AI that they've just released on X. Interesting.
Yeah, what is it called? Grorp or something ridiculous?
Yes, it's like Grorp.
Very pornographic.
Harry Potter's, like, isn't that Hagrid's brother or something? Half brother.
I've got no idea.
It's like, oh, do you know what we should call our AI? Grorp.
Sorry.
Sorry, I don't think I actually know what Elon Musk sounds like.
The Googly has just asked, yes, the 3S has Fresnel lenses. So basically, it's exactly the same as a Meta Quest 3, but it has Fresnel lenses because it's cheaper. They've dropped a few of the features like the jack, the headset jack, and all that sort of stuff. They're basically trying to get a $300 VR headset because that seems to be the price point that sells. Because when they released the Quest 2, the 64 gig version, the Quest 3, the Quest 3, Quest 2, the 64 gig version was $300, and they're trying to get that. They're trying to get back to that affordable. $300 isn't too much, so you might just go make an impulse buy and give it a go. So
yeah, because when they dropped the Quest 2s down, they sold out, didn't they?
Mm.
So
and Quest still a great headset, you know. I mean, I know this is really bizarre, but me and my wife have been playing golf in VR. So I've given her the Meta Quest 3. We've got the wonderful golf sticks from Vogue's and AM VR. These things
Did you send me a golf stick?
Eh?
Did you send me a golf?
No, I haven't. It's sat there. You can. I will send it to you. Yeah. So I've been basically, my wife has the best experience. I let her use the Quest 3. And I've been using the Quest 2, and we've been playing golf, and it's fucking good. This is the first time my wife has ever played VR, right? She's, bearing in mind I've been into VR since 2016. It's the first time my wife's played anything in VR. I put the headset on her head. I gave her the golf stick, club. Got to stop saying stick. And we've had an absolute blast while we were on holiday, playing golf in VR, and it's been wonderful. It's been a lovely experience. So if you're into VR and you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, partner, fucking alien, all the above, get get Golf Plus on your headset and play golf. It's lovely.
I would
It's
argue
great.
Walkabout is better, but yeah, I get your sentiment.
Yeah, we haven't played Walkabout yet, but we are going on holiday tomorrow, and I have Walkabout on both my headsets, so we are going to play some Walkabout golf because she's a bit obsessed with like real life thingy golf. What's it called? Funny golf, not funny golf. Fucking
Crazy golf.
crazy golf. There you go.
Yeah, but then isn't the golf game you're playing more of a realistic golfing game compared to Walkabout, which
It's
is
a
mini?
very, 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 very in-depth, very serious, licensed by the PGA golf game.
Yeah, because I used to love years ago, not in the past 20 years, but I used to love playing the Tiger Woods games when I was a kid.
Yeah, like the full
1998.
Yeah, like the full PGA links thing. That like Golf Plus is basically that in VR, and it works really well. It's.
I love the difference between like me and these two other lads on this podcast, where they're like, "Oh yeah, I used to play like the Tiger Woods PGA Tour," and there's Shuey sitting there being like, "I liked Mario Golf," and still do. To be fair, it's on the Switch.
I'm still waiting for Nintendo to make a VR headset. That'd be fucking insane.
Yeah, but
They already have a VR headset.
the cardboard one.
Oh no,
They have two. They have the big red fucker that came out in like the 90s.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. And they have Labo. So they've already delved their hat into it, realized it doesn't work, and moved on.
No, there was rumors about the new Switch being able to slide into an empty case of a headset. And
Yeah.
then become...
That was an April Fool, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was an April Fool.
Yeah. But it would be so cool, like with all the play like Mario games and Mario Party games and Zeldas and stuff and VR. It'd be fucking mental.
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think it's ever going to happen. They're like, no, I think it's too long of a conversation, but I don't see it happening. Like Nintendo already know what their audience is, and honestly, unless you're trying to reach to a larger audience, and Nintendo definitely doesn't need that.
No.
They know their audience, they know what they like, they know what they'll buy. They'll continue to make stuff that fits. Virtual Boy, that was the name of it. Thank you
Virtual
very
Boy,
much.
yes.
LSP,
Yeah.
and Sing and Googly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't see Nintendo like diving out of it too much. They dip their toe. It's like the meme of the little pink cube. Have you seen that, where he's in his little box, he's all sorts of happy, and then he crawls out of it, and then someone gut punches it immediately. He's just like, never again, and just stays there for the rest of the time. And that's like Nintendo's foray into VR.
I was at in an old sort of charity shop, and I saw this is like 20 years ago, and I saw a box, and it was a Virtual Boy box, right? So I went to the woman. I said, "Oh, is the console, is the Virtual Boy actually in there?" She went, "Oh no, it's just the box. We got given a load of stuff when this guy died, and it's just the box." So I was like, "All right, how much do you want for it?" She said 50p. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll buy it." So basically, it was a Virtual Boy box with all of the packaging intact inside, all of the guides, all of everything was in there, just not the Virtual Boy. I sold that box on eBay for £100.
Yeah.
Because it's so rare that somebody wanted their Virtual Boy to have the box that had all of the packaging in it.
I think you missed a trick there.
It was 20 years ago.
Even so, I still think like buying a Virtual Boy at that point and shoving it in the box, I think like you'd have made massive bank. Someone would have purchased that just to be able to have a Virtual Boy with the original packaging.
This is really weird, right? So in that same, like, I used to go to this charity shop all the time, and I don't know where they got their stuff from, because they always had like retro video games. They had like SNES consoles, SNES games. Somebody who was supplying them was obviously a gamer, and they would like buy stuff and then go, "Well, I'll give that to the charity shop, but I'll keep this for myself." So I went in one day, and I saw this thing on the shelf, and I was like, I said to the woman, I said, "What's that?" She went, "Oh, I don't know. It's like an odd shaped television." So I had a quick look, and it was a Vectrex. Do you remember those?
No.
Right.
Even I'm not old.
Right. So basically, a Vectrex was an early. Do you remember that game, Asteroids?
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Yes.
a certain style of gaming. It was called,
Remember that one of the most important games to ever be produced ever.
Yeah, but the thing was, so it had like a certain style. It was like vector graphics. So the Vectrex was a games console that was like a TV, like a 16:9 TV turned on its side. So it was like 9:16.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now.
You used to get these color inserts, and basically it was black and white. You used to get these color inserts to make it, and you could play Asteroids, and you could play all these sort of games. And I was like, "Oh right, how much do you want for that?" She was like, "Oh well, it's £50, but it comes with all this." And she gave me a boxed Vectrex controller that had never been opened, a Vectrex controller, and then a big pile of games still in their boxes. And I bought it for £50, and I think I made £1,000 off the sale of that. This is 20 years ago, mind, on eBay, because I just basically I split it all up and sold it separately.
You can buy them on eBay right now, working ones for £800.
Yeah. So this was 20 years ago. So I sold the Vectrex boxed separately. The controller, the boxed controller, it was so rare that I nearly made as much money on that as I did on the Vectrex when I sold it. It was fucking crazy. Anyway, there you go.
Came out in 1982.
Yeah, there you go. I was
25.
No, I was 15. I was 14 in 82. There you go. That's how old I am.
Cool. Right.
So we didn't talk about MetaConnect at all.
No, I mean, how much like what else do you expect MetaConnect to actually contain? Because honestly, the rest of it, like we saw on Twitter in our little creators group, it's probably just going to be one of these things where, you know, do a shot every time they say AI.
Yeah.
And you'll be wankered in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I think they're going to reveal the Quest 3S. They're going to probably talk about the Meta Ray-Bans because they've extended the contract to 2030. They might have a new Ray-Ban reveal. I'm not sure, like an updated, like a 2.0. Yeah, I'm not. I would like to be there, but I'm not particularly excited about what they're going to reveal.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be at the actual Connect. I just want to go to all the after parties. There are going to be like it's going to be party central for like 2 days, 3 days straight.
Yeah,
I've got no interest in the actual Connect, if I'm really honest, for this year, because I'd just be like constantly sitting there being like, let's go drink, let's go drink, let's go drink.
Shuey, remember we're Meta Quest creator partners. You have to be hype.
I'll be hyped to talk about all of the stuff afterwards.
Oh yeah.
But, like, otherwise, I'm gonna be sat in the hall being like, "Oh, we gotta go do stuff."
I can't remember because I was wankered for the whole week.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about your new toy? Shall we?
Speaking of Mr. Pixus's the best in class AI glasses. No, these aren't the best in class. Or I don't know yet. I haven't played with them enough, but I don't think they will be. But they're pretty good. Is my new little toy, which I have been sent some sunglasses. No, I have been sent some Xreal Air 2s. There you go. There's some fun. So you wear these instead of your glasses. I've actually ordered some VR Rock inserts for these. And yeah, it basically you can either mirror your screen, or there is a what do you call it? Apple Vision Pro-esque interface for this. Sorry, I'll keep waving this bit in your face, but it doesn't actually help. So this is the Xreal Air 2.
Oh, that's really weird. I've never seen you without your glasses on.
Yeah, I know. It's because I can't see a damn thing. The only time I take my glasses off is for jiu-jitsu. That's literally it.
And then you got your ribs cracked. So yeah.
Yeah. So what does that say? So yeah, basically this will plug into your phone and it will work with the Android software. You can download special little bits and bobs, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass, and you can't charge your phone without a pass-through system whilst you've got these plugged in, because it requires you to be plugged in at the end there so that it sits like over your ear. And so they also sent me this, which is an Orbit Pro, I think it's called, and it's essentially a phone, but it's a phone that also has like 2 3D cameras so that it can do, or not 3D, it has 2 cameras so that it can do spatial video, spatial pictures, etc. But it also runs all the stuff, so I can sit there with my massive screen in the headset. This is. And it's got AR capabilities. So I will be able to sit there and I can plug it into different things and I can watch Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon and all that jazz. Also, the glasses actually work so you can change whether or not they are sunglasses or not.
Yeah.
So you can change
that's
like,
one of the coolest. That's one of the coolest things I thought about them.
Which is obviously pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy about that. I've played around with them because today's the first day that I've opened them up and had a quick play. Hang on, they sell a pass-through for the Rainier Airs that will work with those. Do they now? Interesting. I will look at that.
Captain Pixis also asked, they're not the ones with the built-in hand tracking, are they? Or is that just the Pro 2s or something?
No, this is the Pro 2, the Air 2 Pros.
Right, okay.
So it doesn't have hand tracking, so far as I know, anyway. But you just use the Orbit, the beam. Sorry, that's the what it's called, the beam.
Yeah.
In order to as a little controller for it, which works quite nicely. But yeah, on the whole, I sat there today and I watched a few YouTube videos on it. And I've wanted one of these for a while because I want them for plane journeys.
Yeah.
Or like train or just. Basically, when I'm sitting there on the train, because I do like quite a few trips to and from London now, and yeah, for me that's only about an hour and a half. But sitting there like with my phone, and I'm just like, there have actually been a couple of times, right, where I've been like rewatching Game of Thrones or something, and all of a sudden I have to remember that I'm in public, and there are fucking windows, and the potential of kids walking up and down the aisle, and there's just Daenerys getting railed. Or something, you know. And
the Red Wedding. Like, okay, and you're going, fucking hell!
Exactly, right? And it's just not acceptable. But with these, I could watch all of the softcore pornography that I could want in public.
Welcome to the Virtually Erect podcast.
No,
all we'd have to do is put an E in front of Rek't, and it would be the Erect podcast.
So far, I've had these on for about maybe half an hour, and they're at like, so the screen's not as big as I thought it was going to be. If I'm really honest, the screen is not quite as big. It doesn't like display it in such that way, but it's good enough that I'm actually really happy with them. The audio is really clear. The ability to change the brightness up and down works really nicely. The sort of sunglasses-esque pass-through works really nicely. And they're not that heavy. I haven't actually weighed them. Like when I had them on for 40 minutes, and it's no different from me wearing my glasses. The only thing is that these are nice and springy, which is quite nice. Oh, you can actually see that. Sorry. So the nose pieces are nice and springy, and they're super cushioned. So any weight that's on them is actually taken off almost immediately. Sorry, I've actually not looked at myself wearing these. I look pretty badass. But yeah, on the whole, I'm pretty damn chuffed with them. If anyone's got any like interesting use cases for these, I'd be really, really interested to hear that.
Yeah,
because I want to play with these a lot.
After the like because there was like an event recently, wasn't there? Down in London, Doc Ock and Buck and all those, they all went, didn't they? And I was going to pull the trigger because I had a little bit of cash sitting around, and I was going to pull the trigger on them. And it was actually Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis actually put me off. And he said that it's almost there, not quite. He said, I use them when I'm traveling. And like I said, I don't travel that much because basically my commute to work is I open my back door and I walk 10 meters to the man cave. And
Max sticks them on at the breakfast bar, walks outside watching YouTube, sits down and takes them off.
Exactly. You can't watch a feature film whilst walking 10 meters to where you work. So yeah, I'm really excited. I I think they are more important at this particular moment in time than actual virtual reality.
Yeah, for the grand scheme of like the general public.
For
yes,
the general
I agree.
public, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, if you have an Android phone, I don't know whether it works on Apple. Google do an augmented reality Google Maps, and I've used it because I go to London. I've got the worst sense of direction in the whole world ever, and Google do an augmented reality sort of directions. And all you do is you hold your phone up and it says, right, just move your phone around, and Google figures out where you are, and then it puts augmented reality directions onto the screen of your phone. So if you were wearing something like those, the Air Pro 2s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were wearing something like that, and it was connected to your Google phone, and you had your sunglasses on, you could actually use Google Maps to navigate around, and all you'd be doing is wearing your glasses, and it comes up with icons telling you where to go, where to turn left and right. I'm really excited about what you have in your hands, but I don't think it's quite there yet. I think there's like another maybe 2 or 3, 5 years before they become small form factor enough to be used by YouTube
They
influencers.
are still a little bit big, yeah.
Did you see the ones that have just been released? Oh, I'm gonna have to go to upload now. Oh Christ, not the immersed visor. It was the other ones. So I'm just scrolling through Snapchat. The spectacle AR glasses, but you look like fucking brains from Thunderbirds. They're absolutely twatful. That's all I can say about them. They're I mean, they. Oh God. They just you would if you wore them out in public. If I wore them out in public in the northeast of England, I'd get filled in. That's all I can say about them. Because somebody come up to me and go, "All right, Al, what the fuck are you doing wearing them?" Bosh. Because you look like a twat. Yeah, they're called.
Snap spectacles.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So as far as I'm aware, Blue, yes, you can run it with the Switch, but it requires a little bit of effort on your part. It's not just plug and play, is what I'm saying.
Right, so I'm catching up on my chat. Captain Pixus, El Diego, we still know who you are. Yeah, he's saying basically VR headsets will be like our home computers, and AR wearables will be our new mobile phones. I see in the future, we won't have phones. We'll have glasses, and they will look like what you're wearing and what I'm wearing. And everything that you have on your phone, your camera, your WhatsApp, your Facebook, it'll all be on here. And that's why I'm excited, because what you have is the future of this.
Yeah.
Because you remember when you went on holiday, you used to take your phone and it had Snake on it and text messages, and then you took your camera, and then you took your video camera, but now everything is on here. And I think in the future, everything is going to be on what Shuey has in his hands. That's the future I see. And I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, what else do we want to talk about?
We talked about that. Should we talk about some games? Should we talk about games? Because this is a VR podcast.
We don't play games here.
We don't play games
here.
We just do tech. We just do tech.
I can rattle off all the games that are coming out between now and the next episode if you want.
Okay, and then we shall stop you and comment.
Stop me if there's anything that interests you or anything you've played. Okay?
Okay.
Sugar Mess, Let's Play Jolly Battle. 25th of September on PC VR.
Nope.
I've played it. It's not a terrible game. It's just not a good one.
Okay, Mac just did his review with his hand. Thank you very much, Mac. This might be for you, Mac. Car Detailing Simulator VR. On PC VR.
I've never heard of that.
in 3 days.
Oh my
It looks
god!
very OCD.
Is it from the same people who did Tank Simulator? Because oh my god, Tank Restoration Simulator was. Oh, anyway, right, okay, carry on.
Do a quick Google. Sorry, my thingy's playing up. Escaping Wonderland.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't played it yet, but there are some. Yeah, no, I don't know how much I can speak about it actually.
So
but
if
yeah,
you- if you like the Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll, sort of world, a bit dark, is that what it is? I haven't played it, so I don't know.
it is it's an adventure game at the end of the day, sort of platformy adventure. It looks very good. It's been on my list for a while. For the last couple of for the last couple of days. And I plan to play it with some point this week. But yeah, like the only thing I'll say is that there are some interesting voice actors on there, so go check it out.
Yeah. This one might be for you, Sheree. Metal Hellslinger, 26th of September.
I am actually really interested in that.
Yeah.
It has all of my favorite things. It has guns, it has metal anthems, it has some bands that I really like. Yeah, let's fucking go.
Hard no for me.
Why hard no from you? Just out of interest.
If it was R&B Hellslinger.
Not into R&B either.
Sorry.
What do you do? I've never actually like
Stereotyping me, Mac. No.
I literally had to stop myself from saying that. So, what music does Indy listen to?
Yes, banger of Hellsweeper.
Yes, we need Bollywood Slinger. So any Indian VR watching. All right. Okay, on to the next one. Starship Homes on the 26th of September.
Right, that's the that's the mixed reality Starship game, isn't it? I'm very excited about that. I have access, but I haven't got around to playing it because I was on holiday last week. So yeah, and I'm on holiday tomorrow, so probably not till next weekend.
Nice. Okay, and then we have A Hunter's Tale. Have you guys got any experience with this one?
No.
Nope.
Explore Fuji's mysteries in this VR RPG adventure. Battle massive beasts, conquer challenges, and grow stronger with each encounter.
Sounds like a roguelike.
That does sound like a roguelike.
A voxel graphicsy kind of. Doesn't say much else. Fight, loot, and craft. Level up. RPG dungeon crawler. There you go.
Okay.
Encircled.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Okay. Grand Rush VR Highway Car Traffic Racing Simulator. Bloody hell. That's a hell of a name. That's on PSVR 2. Mac. You still have one of those, right?
What? They still exist?
Yeah, I have a PSVR 2, but I sold my PS5.
Yeah. It's like a racing game. It's got a stupid name, but it actually looks quite good going by the pictures. Gonna have to get another PS5. Virtual Driving School.
No. Oh no! I've actually got that on Pico. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
Do you know what? It actually looks quite good. I like if they allow you to run pedestrians over, that game might actually be the next GTA.
It's a fucking driving.
I think it's like I think that's like fail. In my this is honest to God truth. In my very first driving test, I actually ran a goose over, right? And the guy said to me,
"As you do."
The guy said to me, "Why didn't you avoid the goose?" And I said, "Because I didn't know who was behind me, and I didn't want to go onto the other side of the road." And he was like, "Oh, okay, fair answer, but you failed." I was like, "Mate, so what do you want me to do? Have a fucking accident that kills human beings, but the goose is alive?"
Yeah, no, I'm with the goose on this one.
Fuck yeah, well, of course you would be if you were the goose. Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah. He wouldn't even
Mo-
He wouldn't even let me go and pick it up so I could cook it. But there you go.
Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom.
Oh, mate, I am so looking forward to that.
October 3rd on Quest.
Excuse me a second. I just need to. I need a second. You can talk about mobile Gundam.
Okay.
Can't you?
Yeah, no. So, Silver Phantom, it's not a game as such, although it does have gameplay elements. But it is essentially an experience. And I am super into Gundam. Like, that's what I grew up with. Like, some people grew up with Dragon Ball. You freaking weirdos. And the rest of us would wait the extra half an hour until Gundam came on, like a normal person. And we would watch mechs go at it rather than, like, people showing off their muscles for half an hour every week. So, yeah, no, I'm super interested. I've been waiting for, like, a VR Gundam-y type thing. To get like an actual Gundam thing, right? Not just like Iron Legion or whatever. That's not the name of the game, is it? But yeah, there have been several mech games, and they're all cool in their own way. Like they've got some really cool like piloting strategies and things. Yeah, no, Thundercats was fine, man, but it was all about Gundam, specifically Gundam Wing. When I was a kid. But yeah, so I am looking forward to that, and that has it's been on my list since I want to say it was mentioned in December last year. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck a Gundam is, but
it's a giant mech that blows the shit out of everything else.
See, in my childhood, it was Speed Racer for me. This is why I probably got my love of cars.
I thought you were about to say Watch with Mother.
Oh, hold on, I've got this.
That's pretty much it for the next 2 weeks, to be honest. Nothing massive, but there is a couple of little titles that.
So can we talk about the big three? I think the big three.
Behemoth, Alien, and Batman.
Yeah, Behemoth, Alien Incursion, and Batman. And I'd also like to talk about. Right. So first of all, can we talk about the Arizona Sunshine remake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Arizona Sunshine was the first game that I ever played co-op in VR with my mate. And I mean, if you went back now and played it, it'd probably be janky as fuck. Old school teleportation and like really bad. But it like Arizona Sunshine has a massive place in my heart, along with like Lone Echo. It was like one of the first games I ever played in VR, and I absolutely loved it. There's a bit where you're in this room and you open the fridge and the zombie falls out, and I actually screamed. And I just, it's like one of those things I remember. So the Arizona Sunshine remake is using the Arizona Sunshine 2 engine. I do believe that the chap who voices the main protagonist has redone all of his dialogue for it, and it has the Arizona Sunshine 2 graphics and reload mechanics. It doesn't have the dog, unfortunately, which was like a big part of that.
Yeah, but that would have. I don't think that would have been good because the dog fundamentally would have changed the story.
Yeah, it would have.
And honestly, the story is both fun, intelligent, and actually kind of harrowing by the end.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the guy, like this guy is on his own the entire time, and he is just trying to chase having a partner, having someone to talk to, finding some form of civilization throughout the entirety of the first one.
Yeah.
And that's why the second one, in my opinion, the actual story of the second one was slightly lacking.
Okay.
Because you immediately have a partner, right?
And
he's so happy with the partner. And I understand what they're doing with it is that they're trying to make you care about this other character so that they can rip it away from you violently and torture and make you feel like there's nothing in the world that you want other than to save this dog. You'd happily remove your real life leg to make it so that the end of this game the dog is still alive. So I get what they're doing, but yeah, in the first one, the whole point is that he is alone and he is desperate for companionship.
But I'm really looking forward to it because I mean we live streamed the Arizona Sunshine 2 quite a lot. I played with Weeble, I played with you, and we've got that classic scene where with the chain gun, where you were like, no, you have the chain gun. You You enjoy yourself. And I was like, no, mate, you have it. You have it. Ah, say hello to my little friend. And I did it in the live stream. And he just like gunning down hundreds of zombies while there's explosions going off. And it's like, you know, and the da 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 with the sausage.
Yeah.
In the gang clubhouse, man. There's so many good memories from Arizona Sunshine 2. I just absolutely love that game. So I'm really looking forward to Arizona Sunshine remake. Yeah, absolutely.
That is the other problem, actually. I find with Arizona Sunshine, right? Arizona Sunshine 2, you have Buddy the dog.
Yeah.
And I get it, right? So there's less of a feeling of solitude. There's less of a feeling of just being on your own and being miserable. And so it didn't make a difference that you could play it co-op, but you can play the original co-op. And it's only just occurred to me that actually kind of destroys the story of the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, absolutely. Crazy.
But yeah, I cannot wait to play it. I cannot wait to play it multiplayer either, because I loved every second of that. Like I was in speed running competitions for it. I played so much.
Weren't you a world champion at one point?
I was in fact a world champion.
You know, that's really weird because you've never mentioned it.
I've never mentioned it. It's
Never.
A revelation today.
He's never mentioned it on the podcast 20 million times.
Well, until I hit 100k, it was probably the only thing I had to hang my fucking hat off on.
Welcome to the Virtually Erect podcast, where Shuey will hang his hat on his penis.
Or someone else's. Preferably Serge's.
Yeah, I don't. I played most of Arizona Sunshine 2, I think, in co-op as well. I thought it was all right. I don't think it was anything special, to be honest.
The reload mechanics were really bad. Still,
Yeah, it was a janky old game. I mean, it's like you've got to remember it was like.
I'm talking about the second one, not the first one.
Oh, right, okay.
Second one. The first one is I played it years ago. It's 25 quid, right? But then I think Bluebell said it's like a tenner if you already own the old one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I do own the original, so yeah. Maybe look at your Oculus account. I said Oculus. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so I don't know. If it's a tenner, then maybe I'll give it a go. But yeah, it's not exciting for me.
Right.
But the second one isn't as. I didn't find it as good as everyone thinks it is, to be honest. So it was more the same too much, and it wasn't. They didn't take any chances in that. It was playing it safe, and I mean, obviously, this is what the big name devs do: is they play it safe. They don't take risks, basically.
No, I disagree with you, mate. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
I do think there is an element of the member berries happening with the second one. Like it was almost built for people that really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
And I get that, right? There was a lot of callbacks and it was really well done in that respect. But yeah, there were a lot of janky elements to it that I can see did not make it a fantastic game. Also, the campaign wasn't long enough.
No.
By any stretch. I know the campaign for the first one wasn't particularly long either. And so I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, you know, the first one was better and all that jazz. But yeah, no, there were some definite problems with it. But I loved it still.
Yeah.
But once again, that probably comes more from the fact that I love the Arizona Sunshine world than I do love the game.
And don't forget, for a very brief period of time, we were #1 on the Horde mode leaderboard.
We were for a very, very, very brief moment of time.
On launch day, probably the first people to ever play the Horde mode, we were #1.
Yep.
There you go. Right, so can we talk about Behemoth?
Yeah, I was just checking. I suddenly realised I hadn't checked. I've had a black eye for like most of the week.
Oh right, how have you done that? Jiu-jitsu?
No, that is an airsoft one.
Oh, you got shot in the face.
I got shot in the face.
The
iPro, it literally was like a fraction of a millimeter above the iPro. Yeah, that hurt like a bitch. Sorry, what were you saying?
Behemoth.
Behemoth, right? Yes, the big three for this year.
The big three, the ones that people we trust, like Beardo Benjo, Gamer Tag, Paradise Decay, they've all Mike from VRO, they've all come back and said there's 3 AAA games coming out this year: Behemoth, Metro Awakening, and Batman Arkham Shadows. So Behemoth is the first one I'd like to talk about. Now, to me,
hang on before you jump into it.
Okay.
So there are 4 essentially, right? Because Alien Incursion, I think, deserves a place on that list.
Okay.
So that being the case, then before we actually get into each individual game, top order of your excitement for those 4 games.
Right, for me, Metro Awakening, Batman. Oh God, Behemoth, Alien Incursion.
Well,
and the reason,
me and Mac are no longer friends. But...
So the reason,
don't get into it.
No, I'm gonna
Indie.
explain because I played all of the Metro games flat screen, and I think they are top tier. So right, there you go.
Okay.
Indie.
I don't know. Alien, Metro, Behemoth, Batman. I mean, I don't get excited about games because I'm more of the I don't want to see it on a fucking screen. I want to play it myself before I get excited about stuff. So
I've been hurt before.
I don't buy into the whole hype thing, and I just want the fucking thing in my hands. So
welcome to the Virtually Erect podcast.
So mine, honestly, although there is some excitement, I'm an Alien fanboy.
Yeah,
it's Alien, the other 3.
Okay. Have you seen the new Alien film? Sorry.
No, I haven't seen Romulus yet.
Okay.
Because
Indy.
No, I want to hear what Indy said, but I'll explain why I haven't seen Romulus yet.
What have we seen from Alien though?
So we have seen we've seen some in-engine stuff, as far as I'm aware. It definitely, they're ticking everything I've seen from it. Ticks all of the boxes on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sounds tick everything on the list. The alien looks good. There are eggs. Like honestly, as long as they just look at the previous Aliens games and goes, those were bollocks, that one was really good, we'll be fine.
And what are the chances of that happening?
God, about 50-50.
This is why I don't fucking get excited.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a little interjection here. Paradise Decay is actually in my chat. And I've just asked him, list your top 4. Oh, right, he did. Oh, shit. Sorry, I missed it.
Microsoft Flight Simulator, Batman, AS, Alien, and Aces of Thunder. No, that's Parasite.
No, Flight Simulator is going to be coming out, and it's going to be on one.
Batman, Behemoth, Metro, and AZ Remake are his top 4.
Okay, so he's actually played them as well. So, yeah.
Somebody went to Gamescom.
Ooh, I was going to go to Gamescom, but I couldn't afford it. So, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, the reason I haven't seen Alien Romulus, the reason I haven't seen it is because I fucking hate cinemas. I like it. They are one of the worst things on the planet. I don't. I know people like watching things on big screens and they like having big fucking speakers in front of them, but the ability, I'm getting older. I need to go for a piss halfway through a movie, right? I don't want to sit there for an hour waiting to go for a piss. I don't want other people getting up in the middle of my film. I don't want kids behind me playing on their fucking phones and throwing popcorn at the back of my head. Fuck cinemas. Sorry, carry on.
I completely and utterly agree with you. I'm a massive movie fan. My wife, our first date was to go and see a film, and we
Indy's doing exactly the same thing I am. He's like, what was the earliest film that was ever made?
Fuck off. Gone with the Wind, all right? So fuck you, right? And it wasn't. It was actually, oh my God, it was the fucking Addams Family, right? So this is actually genuinely what happened. I met my wife at Christmas, just before Christmas, and then on New Year's Day, Adam's Family had just been released. So I was like, would you like to go to the pictures? And she was like, yeah, fine. So there was a really old.
Called it the pictures. You can't say you bastards when you literally call it the pictures.
I'm old, right? You're lucky I didn't say the fucking
The Roaring 20s.
Yeah, the Roaring 20s. So I said to my wife, would you like to go to the pictures? So yes, and she was. I mean, we are both like massive movie fans. It's one of the things I like about my wife is that when I first met her, I was like, oh, I love this, I love that. And she was like, oh, I do too. And I was like, I'm a bit suspicious. But it turns out, actually, we are very compatible. So we went to see the Addams Family at the old Odeon in Darlington. I always remember it. We got our popcorn. We went to the seats. We sat down. And as the film started, there were some people talking. And my wife actually stood up, turned around and said, can you be quiet, please? And then she turned around, sat back down. And I thought, fuck, I'm going to get filled in. I'm going to get fucking filled in here because those guys that she's just told to shut up are going to come over here and they're going to fill me in. So I absolutely 100% agree with you, Shuey. I do not go to the pictures anymore because mobile phones and arseholes have ruined going to the movies.
Anyway, back to the actual games because we've gone on we've gone on a massive like boomer rant of why cinemas suck.
Alien Incursion. Sorry, Indy.
Just really quickly, have you guys seen that movie Scum from 1980, whatever it was, the Borstal movie?
Oh, with Ray Winston.
Yeah.
Where's your tool?
Yeah. That is my dad took my mum on their first date. I swear that was the movie.
Where's your tool? What fucking tool? This fucking tool. Boosh.
Yeah, Scum was one fucked up film. Sorry. Alien Incursion, Romulus, whatever it's called.
Alien Incursion.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
I'd like to say that Aliens by James Cameron is, I think, one of the best films ever made.
I would say it's one of the best action movies ever made.
Oh, it's incredible. It's one of the best. Yeah. I mean, the CGI doesn't stand up, but the characters.
No, bollocks, it does.
I haven't seen it recently, so.
I think there are certain elements where they're leaving the planet and stuff where it looks quite dated.
Yeah.
But those are visual effects from what I understand.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I haven't watched an Alien film for 10, 15 years. I don't even remember the old Aliens.
Mac, you need to come down. We need to go and do an Alien marathon with
Oh,
Indy.
yeah. Yeah.
I did like them back in the day. I just haven't seen. I watched Prometheus, I think, a couple of times, and the other one that came out. But
sorry,
yeah.
do we say Alien films or bollocks?
I saw the Alien universe, right? There's aliens in it, right? In Prometheus.
Kind of.
All right, let's move on because we're going to be fucking debating forever.
Right, so
it's not. Yeah. Anyway,
Alien. Right, so let's get back to the original thing. Alien Incursion. So, have you played Alien Isolation in VR?
Not yet.
Okay, so I'm quite excited for. I didn't actually. Now that you've said it, I wasn't that excited about Alien Incursion, but they did a release trailer and it wasn't received well, and then they put some more information out and everybody was like, oh, actually, yeah, they might have got this right. So
yeah.
Paradise Decay says Alien Romulus is now my third favorite Alien film after 1 and 2.
So
that's not difficult because every single Alien film after 1 and 2 was shit.
Oh, let's not. We need to move on because I'm gonna have an argument on this.
I agree with you, Mac. Holy shit!
He's never seen them.
Second, and that one with the Prometheus, that was a fucking brilliant movie. 10 out of 10. All right, on to the next one.
Wait! We haven't touched.
This
enough...
is the day that Shuey quit the Virtually Rek't podcast.
We haven't touched enough of Shuey's buttons.
Don't forget Horizon on the PSVR 2.
Fuck off. Right, okay. So you're very excited about Alien Incursion.
I am. I am tentative still because we've been burnt before. We will continue getting burnt.
Hitman VR.
Fuck Hitman VR.
Fuck Hitman VR.
But
fuck Hitler.
So
fuck Hitler.
That's still the one that I think has my most hype factor built around it. But having seen and heard from people that have been and played Behemoth,
Behemoth.
whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Fucking Southerners, I don't know.
Like that game does look good. Like
Yeah.
Colossus in VR.
Yes.
Like, what more do you want, really? The only thing is like when Gamertag went and put a bunch of is it Eye of the Colossus? Is that the name? I can't remember.
No, that's
But yeah, stuck a bunch of like that music,
music,
over the top
the
of
music.
it. I was just
Oh.
like, oh yeah, no, he is really onto something here.
Yeah, definitely.
okay. Are we done with that?
Yeah, I think we're done with that.
Okay, I'm not even going to mention what's going on in the chat because somebody's actually said that Aliens 3 is the best Aliens film.
Get fucked.
You are fucking wrong, my friend. You are. Who is it? It was.
I don't even care who.
Oh, sorry, Cole. So I know it's one of my channel members, and I love him to bits. But Cole, you are wrong. You are.
Hang on, no, hang on. Like, ignoring the fact that he said it was wicked, he said Hellboy was in it, and he was in the fucking fourth one. Like, Ron Perlman was in the fourth one, not the third one. Oh god, this is hurting my fucking brain.
Right, so let's move on. So my most hyped game was Metro Awakening. Shuey's most hyped game is Alien Incursion. Serge, what is your most hyped VR game out of the big four that we've mentioned? That is Metro Awakening, Alien Incursion, Batman, and Behemoth.
I'm an 80s kid, so it'd have to be Alien. But that all depends on a lot of things. So I haven't got my hopes up. Let's see what happens. I really hope it does come out to be a good game.
Okay. Now, we already know that Behemoth is good. And we already know that Batman Arkham Shadow is good. And one of my favorite superhero films, superhero games that I ever played, was Batman Arkham Asylum, because Batman he's not a superhero, he's a vulnerable human being, and Batman Arkham Asylum played him as the hunter. So you had to be extremely careful about when you chose to get into combat, and you were like a stealthy hunter. And I loved that about Arkham Asylum. And I get the feeling from watching the people who put content out about Batman Arkham Shadows is that you become Batman the Hunter, which is I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. So
it's the stealth element.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's got X-ray vision.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This is Aspire 2 all over again, isn't it?
This
is Nexus all over again.
Yeah, this is the thing for me. If you look at Nexus, we argued about this before, but if you take away that it's got Assassin's Creed on it, right, then what are you left with? And I think it might be the same situation with Batman, because it's all nostalgia and like, oh, I love Batman kind of thing. So I don't know. It's just for somebody, say you never played a Batman game before, and then you get them to play Batman or Assassin's Creed or whatever. Like it's going to be totally different. People are going to think different things, I think. So this is why I just don't get. I'm not really excited about anything because I just don't know it's all like. Assassin's Creed was like fanfare, right? Fan service. Yeah. So they had some shit mechanics, I think, which is part of the fan service. And yeah, this is what Assassin's Creed games are like. But this is fucking VR, and they should have given options.
All right,
I just don't want that to happen.
So we had this same conversation on another podcast, and it was Vampire Masquerade, which I think Shuey you really loved.
No, I didn't really love it. I thought it was all right.
Okay.
I really liked the idea of it, but the actual execution of it was the type of game that I wanted to play was silent and stealthy, but I just didn't have 6 hours per level to do that.
Yeah. But with so we had the same conversation about Assassin's Creed and Vampire Masquerade because they have that vampire vision and the like Assassin's Creed vision thing, which you seem fundamentally, and Aspire 2 had it as well. And you seem fundamentally against that. I
I agree on this one.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Like, I think what they should do is, so rather than have a vision as such, like they ended up doing with the Splinter Cell games and stuff, they needed to have
I
like
was going to mention Splinter Cell,
yeah, they needed to have like a usable, disposable item that you could like throw and attach to a wall or spit out of your mouth or something that gave you a limited amount of time on that object. And you could only say have one of them at a time, or you only had like 3 to use for the level or something. They needed to still give an idea for people who wanted to use that sort of thing, but a way of just not having it, a way of just not overdoing it.
I just had a really good idea. We should start a company called, I think XR Games sounds like a good idea for like a company name, where you actually consult with video game producers. And oh, sorry, has somebody else already come up with that idea?
Yeah, the problem is that people that then they go and make Hitman 3 remake and then they don't consult with them, and then they release a pile of absolute dog shit.
Oh my God, Hitman 3. It was the most disappointing game of. So I love Hitman 3. I've got the World of Assassination on my Steam account. I played it quite a lot. That game was absolute dog shit. I'm sorry.
I held off playing Hitman 3, waiting for a good VR version, and you can imagine how I feel. Now I don't even want to play Hitman 3 in the normal mode.
No, I honestly can't believe that anybody would ever consider releasing a game in such a bad state and then saying, "Oh, don't worry, there's a day 4 patch coming out," and the day 4 patch didn't fix anything. It just made the popping a little bit worse. It made the popping a little bit better.
The best thing about that game was the meta refund, which normally takes 2 to 4 days. It took all of 30 seconds, and they already said, "Here's your money back." So they must have got so many refund requests on that day, and I played for more than 2 fucking hours as well.
Yeah, I did as well. So Bluebell said, Matt rant coming. His video is hysterical. Now, the reason is because I love Hitman. I'm a massive Hitman fan. I played so many Hitman games, and I would always go for the stealth kills. I would always try and maximize my Hitman rating so that I was like, I wouldn't kill anybody that wasn't involved. I would always never be seen. I would kill the contract, and I would get out without anybody seeing me. And that was what I really loved to do. And I would spend fucking hours sat in a fucking air conditioning vent watching people so that I would not get seen.
Max experience of the Hitman games is very different to mine, because I started playing them when I was like 13 years old. And I was just like on Hitman 2, and the first level is the villa, and the first weapon I'd find is the golf club, and then you'd go to the kid's birthday party, and you just see how many people's bodies you could stack up in a room.
Hitman is such a hilarious series of funny games, man.
That level, that specific level, I got into the because you had to kill the mafia mole, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I got into his room and killed him with the dildo.
Yeah.
And got away and got the proper 100% stealth rating, and I actually beat somebody to death with a dildo. I want to do that in Hitman 3 VR. Right? But I can't, because the game is fucking janky as fuck.
Can you imagine trying to explain to somebody who has no idea about VR, right? They've got this idea of VR, of this super immersive thing. And you're explaining to them how you want to be a hitman in VR, and you want to murder somebody and get away with it silently by killing them with a dildo. And all it is in their brain is just Mac himself, not Agent 47, walking up to this guy with this giant dildo and ramming it down his throat so that he can't breathe anymore until he dies.
That is a great idea for a game.
That is fucking great. Now, let me see. They had everything they needed to do to make that game, but they didn't. Even the strangling, right? So they said you can actually now use your hands to strangle people. But the problem is, it's the button press.
Yeah.
It's So if you don't have your hands in exactly the right place, it's the button press problem. So basically, you go to grab somebody and they'll go, oh, what's going on? And then you try and punch them and your fist goes through their face and you're like, oh, I've just had enough. Pull out the golf club and just start killing people. Right. So we've done Alien Incursion. We've done Batman. We've done Behemoth. Metro Awakening. Now, this is actually being done by... the script has been written by the guy who wrote the books. And it is being done by a serious VR content company.
Developer, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, who? Who'd you say?
I didn't.
Oh,
said
okay.
Developer.
Okay, yeah. So this is being done by a serious player in the VR market. If they nail this, this is going to be pretty awesome. I'm a huge Metro fan. Huge Metro fan.
I played the first couple. It's Vertigo Games doing it, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's 2049, and there's been 3 flat screen games which they've remastered.
Yeah, I played 1 or 2. I can't remember. I never finished them. But yeah, they're decent games, though.
Yeah,
they look good. We haven't got much information. The trailer looks good. Oh, they can't fuck this up.
Yes, they can. The trailers always look good, Mac.
Yeah. So if you don't have any experience of the Metro Awakening games or the Metro games, then you need to play Arctica on the original CV, like Oculus PC.
Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was actually done by the same people and the same script and everything like that. But it was like 2016, so the movement mechanics were, it was all teleport, but it was in that same universe. And that was actually a really good game. It's quite old fashioned now. But that was actually a really good game. So if it's the same people doing that, then I'm excited for Metro Awakening. I really am.
Hopefully it's good. Let's see what comes out, man.
Yeah. So I'm a sim racing fan, so we got Assetto Corsa Zero. I'm guessing you guys aren't interested in that.
Nope.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about that.
We can talk about it, but my Stuart's opinion is going to be silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what else have we got on the horizon that you are really excited for? I've got one, but
what am I excited for? Do you know? I don't know, outside of what we've spoken about, if there's anything else that I'm actually hyped for, which is kind of sad.
Okay, so there's 2 games we haven't talked about yet. Aces of Thunder.
Don't give a shit. Sorry, I genuinely don't care.
Okay,
Aces of Thunder.
So during lockdown in 2019, I played a lot of DCS. And that is basically the same company that is doing Aces of Thunder. So basically DCS is like, am I right saying DCS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. So basically they've stripped away everything else and they've just put the air combat in. And it does look decent. And I like a nice aerial flight sim shoot 'em up, so I'm excited for that. Sorry. Right, the other one.
I like flying games. I love flying games.
Okay, so you may be interested in that.
Yeah. The developer said they'll give me a key, and that was like over a year ago. It's still not out, so I'd rather that it takes longer to make, to be honest, than to be rushed. So
yeah, but there's no release date currently, so we're hoping
Q4
2024. So the other one is, it's on my list here, and unfortunately I can't fucking. Oh, okay, yeah. So Sniper Elite Winter Warrior.
That's already out.
Yeah, I know. But we now got Zombie Army.
Yeah, which I'm only hearing bad things about.
If you need to know what Shuey is talking about, go and watch Gamertag's Gamescom video about Zombie Army.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm really disappointed because I was kind of looking forward to this, if I'm really honest.
Yeah.
Just because I liked the flat screen versions, you know? And yeah, it just doesn't look good. Or a better way of putting it is it looks like shit.
It does. So basically they've taken the Sniper Elite engine and they've made the so if you're not aware of the history, so Sniper Elite games are flat screen, and then there was an add-on in one of the games that did this Zombie Army thing, and it was quite popular. So they sort of spawned another franchise called the Zombie Army franchise, and it was really popular. So they've decided to port Sniper Elite VR zombie franchise into VR, but it doesn't look like they've done very. It doesn't look like they've nailed it, which I'm really disappointed about because I loved Sniper Elite. I like Sniper Elite VR is one of my favorite games from 2 years ago.
I liked it.
I like you played it hardcore, didn't you?
Yep.
And I reviewed it. I loved it. I did loads of live streams. Sniper Elite VR Winter Warrior released. Basically, to me, that was the DLC.
Yeah.
That never got released. It wasn't good. But it was
wasn't even a DLC, it was a reskin.
They're doing the same. The new Sniper Elite, they're doing the same. The Sniper Elite, whatever it's called, the flat screen one, is basically a DLC, but they're selling it, or a reskin, and they're selling it as a separate game.
Yeah, I mean, and the ridiculous thing is they'll make money on it.
Yep.
But they're ruining their reputation.
Yeah, but they'll still make money on it.
Oh, don't worry. It's Hitman VR, but there is a day 4 patch and it'll make it all better. No. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. No, I'm really, really, really gutted. I watched Gamertag's review of his experience at Gamescom. They had no audio, which seems really bizarre because they were saying, "Oh no, we can't use headphones because of COVID." I was like, "Well, can you not use the Meta Quest speakers?" Which makes me think there was a audio issue. And then he was like, "You press a button to bring your backpack up. Why can't you just into the radius?"
I have a theory about the audio issue.
Okay.
My theory, 2 beers in, is that they'd accidentally sent the wrong build along to Gamescom, and it was a joke. And it was a joke build by one of the coding team where they'd replaced all of the zombie noises with anime hentai girls. So every time they came after you, it's like,
I like that. I like that theory. I hope that's true.
I wouldn't put it past it being the case, if I'm honest.
Yeah. No, I do not understand. And also one of the things that Gamertag said was the people who were demonstrating the game weren't VR people. They said,
"Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I've just seen Weeble's response to me earlier.
I was going to say that.
I've just seen it, and I'm just like, Weeble.
Has to be better than
Weeble. That's like dum dum dum. That hurts, mate. That hurts. You're talking about your friend. You're talking about your bearded, beautiful friend who's just hit 100,000 subscribers.
When I pivoted the channel, I understood that I would lose friends.
Oh my God! I wish I could bring. I wish right at this moment I could bring up the Friends pivot meme. Pivot.
Shui, when's the last time you gave key to Weeble? That's what keeps your friendship alive. You should know that by now.
That is a good point. I haven't done a competition that Weeble's won in a long time.
So give him a key for I Am Cat. Solved. Solved.
Do you know what? If Weeble plays it live on like Discord, I will buy him that game. I would love to see Weeble play I Am Cat.
Is there anything else, guys, that we want to talk about?
I'm out of pieces of information for this week. I think.
No, I want to talk about one other game, and it's
okay.
It's something I'm really excited about, and it is coming out in October. I'm just checking on my board there, and it's we spoke about it on the last podcast when unfortunately Serge wasn't here, so I'd like to talk about it again, and it is Wanderers Fragments of Fate.
Oh yes.
Oh, I am like the big four we talked about there: Behemoth, Metro, Alien, and Batman. I'm very, very excited about this because I never played the original, and Shui did, and he did a review, and he was frustrated by some of the game mechanics, but apparently they've sorted it all out, and this is going to be the version of Wanderers Fragments of Fate that you need to play.
I played the original for 6 hours, 7 hours, I'd say, and I did like it.
Yeah.
So.
I am very much looking forward to this. I really want to dive into the game again. I want to dive into the universe. I want to play about with fishing rods and remote control cars and drills and like just everything that the game has to offer. It's such a unique way of doing puzzles. I was so happy. Yeah. So happy. Like imagine if like Myst and Riven, which by the way I loved back in the day, but nowadays like I tried to go back to it, it's just like this game is boring as fuck. Imagine if the puzzles for that were genuinely interactive, and actually had an interesting story, and then you'd have Wanderer of Fate.
Yeah, really excited for that. So the release date is October the 3rd.
That's quite soon.
Yeah, it's only 2 weeks away.
I'm not actually going to be here for that, for the release day.
Oh, you're on holiday?
I am going to an event which you are not joining for, I believe.
Oh, the Dig VR.
Yeah.
Fucking 500 miles, mate.
Yeah, but it's a like that digger, like it's an entire theme park about diggers. It's gonna be amazing.
It does sound amazing, but I can't drive there or catch the train there. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. So Paradise Decay is asking, have you guys tried the new update for Iron Rebellion? That's the giant mech doom thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I really enjoyed that. I played that since the alpha.
Yeah, Bluebells was like massively into that, wasn't he? So Blue Bottles
was it? Yeah. Yeah, no, that was really good.
I saw some I don't know what it was, a video or something about it, and apparently it's really good now.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I'm excited about that, mate. Yeah.
Anything else, gents?
No, I think that is probably it as it stands.
Shall we talk about what we are going to be doing next?
Next is in after the podcast. Next is in the next podcast, or is in.
Right. So, I am absolutely. I've spoken to you about this, Shui. I'm absolutely stunned about what you've done with your channel in the past, literally 10 weeks. It's not even.
Yeah.
It's not even like a huge. It's not like, oh, this past year has been amazing. This past 10 weeks has been pretty fucking.
I think it's like the 13th of July or something.
Yeah, so it's been pretty fucking incredible for you. So, what are you going to do next, and where do you see yourself? I don't know, in like 2 or 3 months' time, a year's time. Because
crashing and burning, obviously. Because now that I've had like this giant peak of stuff, and how do I describe? How do I put this? So I was talking about to Indy about this earlier. I had a massive peak, and a lot of that came from a very specific area, and the hype for that is dying down a decent amount now. And with that is possibly the fact that kids have now gone back to school because it was the school holidays, and they had like forever and a day to sit there and watch all of the type of content that I was producing, and that's fine, you know. But obviously now it's started to calm down. I am looking at other sort of games to dive into, and you'll start seeing a lot more different types of content, all within the same idea. Like it's all going to be VR comedy, like funny stuff within games. Probably a lot of sandboxes, in all honesty. And I even have some collaborations in the pipeline with some quite big YouTubers that I'm going to be discussing over the next couple of weeks to see what we want to do. There's probably going to be some more Bone Labby stuff just for like the more silliness side of things, just because it's probably one of the better Spider-Man type things that you can do.
Yeah.
But honestly, like at the moment, everything is slowing down. And that was like coming off of this massive high, right? Massive high. To then start slowly coming down on the views and everything. And I'm not sure if that's because I'm not 100% sure, sorry, on whether that's because of the game, whether it's because of the content, whether it's because of what I'm doing. There are lots of different factors.
Yeah.
So we will see. We will see. My goal is still to hit 200,000 subs by Christmas.
Okay.
Whether that happens or not is a different matter. But yeah, that's my goal at least. So I've got like the channel's done well enough that I am feeling fairly secure at the moment. So that's good.
Yeah, so I mean that's good for your mental. It's not good for your mental health, but it's good for your financial your financial health.
My mental health is actually fine at the moment. My buttocks are disliking it because I don't know if anyone is actually following what I'm doing on the channel, regardless of the content. But I have put out 16 videos in 16 days.
Welcome to the Virtually Rectum podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the Virtually Rectum podcast. I have put out a long form content and a minimum of 2 shorts every day for 16 days.
Yeah. So you had a day off the other day, didn't you?
I had Saturday afternoon off.
Yeah. Dude, you need to take more time off.
Oh, 100%. I know, which is why I haven't released anything last night. I'm not releasing anything tonight. I'm trying to go back to doing 5 long form and 14 shorts per week.
Okay. So
but even that is so that people understand that aren't creators, that's a lot of stuff.
Content. So we'd also like to go back to Indy's channel, which is the Adventures with Indy. If you haven't found his channel yet, now go and subscribe. Indy has a separate channel called Adventures with Indy, and you did the London to Brighton bike ride last weekend, didn't you?
Yeah.
How's your rectum? Sticking with the theme.
I had the padded panties on, so I'm okay.
Did you get some of that butter that I was telling you about?
No, I didn't.
Oh, dude.
All those fuck is this podcast
closed in Brighton when I got there. No, I've looked at the footage. I forgot my wind muffs, so I had to use bits of tissue instead, which is really like makeshift with some black tape. So the audio is not the best. It's okay. So I've just got to like go through it. And I was thinking of doing a different kind of video where I narrate, but it's just going to take me forever to fucking do. So I don't know. I will release a video in the next week on the London the bike right thing, because it's actually quite fucking funny what happened in the end. So, which nobody knows about, to be honest. So
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it,
it's
mate.
a good story. Yeah.
So if you're watching the podcast, make sure that you go to Adventures with Indy. That's what it's called, isn't it? The channel.
Adventures with Indy. Yeah. I had to think there what the fuck my channel's called. Yeah.
Well, put a link in the chat so that everybody can go. Because obviously I'm like a long time cyclist. I was like the 2009 Hampsterley Winter contest over 40s champion, and have a medal and everything and a thing. So I was like a massive cycling geek. So when you said you were going to do this, I was like, you had like 6. Was it 6 weeks or something?
6 weeks, and it was a full suspension mountain bike on the London to Brighton Road fucking race. And there was this little fucking wanker. I was doing some stuff. He's a cyclist wanker, right? He's like, oh, and I said, well, what the fuck is it? Say something if you're going to say it. And he's like, oh, good luck on that. And I was just like, because it's this, that. And then I was like, yeah, I'll be fine, mate. And then he tried to like make a joke. He's just a knob, a cyclist knob, you know.
To be fair, most people that do that cycling stuff, they are super elitist.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't remember what I said to him, but I was in the moment, and I was just like, basically, fuck off, mind your own business, but not in those words.
Yeah.
Do
you know you can get that in carbon fiber?
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's full suspension. How are you going to do this and that? And it's just like, it was funny. And then my mate, he did that on a half suspension bike as well, and he got a couple of comments, but it's just funny. It was fun. It was fucking, mate. The training that I did in those videos, it's not enough.
No.
6 weeks isn't enough.
No.
The training I did isn't enough. You need, they say 16 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
I think if you 16, you should be all right. The only way to train for the London Brighton cycle ride is to actually fucking do the cycle ride itself. That's the only way you can prepare for it, and it's fucking hard.
Yeah. Well done, my friend. I'm guessing you did it.
I got my medal.
Hey!
My fucking medal. I don't even know where my medal is. It's somewhere.
He doesn't even give a shit about it now.
Yeah,
done that.
Yeah, I need a new challenge. Definitely.
You do. So go and subscribe to Adventures with Indy, and then when he releases the video, you can go and watch it, and it'll be good fun. Subscribe to Power on VR. He doesn't fucking need it now because he's like, crazy numbers. Subscribe to me. I need the numbers.
Mac, are we gonna do? I know you mentioned this before we finish the podcast. Real quick.
The coast to coast.
Because you said, oh, I don't know, because I'll have to hire a bike, but then there's not enough time to train.
We'll do it next year.
Yeah, but I don't know because you keep saying yes and no. I need to know.
No, we'll do it next year. It's on the podcast now. It's on the podcast now.
I will not be joining this.
How are you going to train for it though without a bike?
I'll buy a bike.
Okay.
Dude, I used to have a road bike and I used to ride to work. I used to do 100 miles a week.
Yeah. And how long ago was that?
When I was in my 30s. So now
so the raging 60s.
So that was 30 years ago. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now me and Indy are going to do the coast to coast next year.
He's going to end up. Have you ever seen the when Barney from How I Met Your Mother does the marathon, the New York Marathon? And at the end of it, he's just like, oh yeah, you just get up and you just run a marathon. You don't have to train for it. And he does the whole marathon. He does it really well, and he ends up on a train at the end, and he can't fucking walk. So he just stays on the train until the end of the tracks. That's gonna be back.
Yeah, that's no. That's not gonna be me. That's gonna be Indy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no. The London to Brighton was. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say anything actually. Just watch the fucking video because it's really funny. Like the way I set myself up for the day, and just how it ended. It's pretty fucking funny.
Okay, I commit on the podcast. Me and you are doing the coast to coast next year, and I will come down and we will do the London to Brighton together. How does that sound?
Sounds like you've had a few glasses of wine, but I'll say it sounds great.
No,
I'll get an electric motorbike and I'll join you.
I've been thinking about it for quite a long time. I miss my mountain biking. I really do. It was like a huge part of my life. I mean, I know I joke about being the Hamsterley Winter downhill champion in the veterans, but I do actually have the trophy. And I mountain biked for like 20 years. I raced all over the world. I raced in Canada. I raced in France. I raced all over the UK. And I just miss it. I really do miss it. So I'm going to buy a bike and I'm going to get back into it. And you can come up to visit me in Hamsterley Forest, which is one of the best places in the UK to mountain bike. So We'll
Yeah,
do
no,
that.
that sounds cool.
We'll do
Definitely,
that.
man. I definitely want to do mountain biking now that I've done that. I would need. It's a mountain bike. It's built for going off road,
Yeah.
and I've only done it properly off road a couple of times, and I fucking loved it. So
Yeah.
All right. And one last thing, people were doing the Lunge of the Brighton with electric bike with the electric fucking bikes, and everyone looked at them like they wanted to kill them. So
Okay, well, you could just all, just let people have their fun. It's like
Shuey.
when people play on easy mode
Shuey,
on a game. Just let people have fun.
join
shouldn't be playing
us. Join us. It'll be good for your mental health. Get out on a bicycle, pedal.
Yeah.
No, he's not doing that, is he?
Oh, no, I'll come and I'm all about the having fun. I'm just not about the absolutely annihilating myself whilst I should be working plan.
Okay.
Like if I'm going anywhere for extended periods of time, it's to relax, not fucking not bike 7,000 miles.
And then we got the race around the world, so we'll do that as well. Fuck it.
It's been fun, guys. I think we should.
Yeah, we should end it there.
It's been a great episode. We've talked about all kinds of random shit, rectums and fucking whatever else.
I'm definitely changing the title of this to the Virtually Erect podcast from now on.
I'm going to call it
It's
the
demonetized immediately.
Yeah, thank you, Shuey and Mac. Do you have anything you want to say before you go? Like, what are you doing content-wise? You got anything going this week, next week?
Nothing particular.
Okay.
I'm on holiday from tomorrow for a week, so there won't be anything on the channel when I get back. Yes, there is some stuff going on, which me and Shuey talked about, and that is being triggered when I get back. But that is for the next podcast.
All right. No. Sounds great. I'm probably going to have to sort some food out, and I might stream something. I really want to get into Showdown again, but it's just been so long, and everyone's saying it's shit. And
Yeah.
I'll be playing with randoms. I need to play with people who know how to play because I've forgotten how to fucking play. But let me see what I can come up with. I don't think Pop 1 is much of a people don't really watch. But even then, Showdown on Twitch is dead as well. So
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Cool, guys. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
2 weeks time.
See you in 2 weeks' time. I've been Mac in VR. He's been Indie VR. He is the legend that is Power on VR, who has got his 100,000 subscriber button on the way.
That might actually be here by the next podcast, and if it is, then I'll have it, and I'll be like, oh.
We'll call it the 100k wanker special. How about that?
Yeah.
Excellent, man. Cheers, guys. It's been great. Cheers, everyone, for watching. See you next time.
Really enjoyed it.
People.
We love you. Love you. Love you.